Welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. My name is George Wright III. I am your host with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. I hope you're having a great week. Yesterday, we got started with your week talking about ways that we can rewire your brain for success, and we're going to continue that series today because I want to help you to literally reprogram your brain to be your greatest asset and your greatest tool in creating the success you want in your life. But before I do, if this is your first time listening, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any episodes every day. And we're going to try to keep these short unless we're doing a real deep dive interview with a success or authority figure. And try to keep this to 7 to 10 minutes every day. The idea here is to constantly give you ideas for your mind, body, money, business, and lifestyle so that you can take your life to the next level. So yesterday we talked about how to rewire your brain for success. And I started giving you some hacks or ways that I've learned that high achievers use to reprogram your mind. And I'm just going to make this statement because you probably know this, but I want to double down on it with you. Someone, somewhere, some circumstance, some environment, some conditions in your life are currently programming your mind to work against you. That's right. Your environment is constantly programming your mind to work against you. So if you are not being proactive in programming your conscious and subconscious mind, make no mistake, it's being programmed either way. And so one of the reasons I'm highlighting this at the beginning of April, and so that we can spend some time really setting up your week and your day and your quarter, right? We're getting into this second quarter of the year, is that I really want you to start by empowering the one awesome tool that you have, your mind. And so yesterday, I laid a little bit of a foundation on these hacks and ideas and habits you can use to rewire your brain. The first was neuroplasticity, because repetition and frequency and intention with things you're doing will help to program your mind. There's visualization, which means not just dreaming or clarifying what you want in your life, but 5 to 10 minutes every day rehearsing and visualizing in advance the successful event or thing that's going to happen for you in your life. And then there's affirmations, making present tense statements to literally program your mind. I am the greatest. I am confident. I am unstoppable. Whatever it is that you're trying to do. And then fourth, habit stacking, finding current habits and stacking new ones behind it. Now we're going to drive into 4 more of these habit stacking ideas or these mind hacks. But before I do, I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update, because I think, I get a lot of DMs. I had a lot of people, what's going on? What's the latest? What can we do? I'm super excited about the Authority Formula podcast that's going to be launched here next week. It's my JV with Valiant CEO Magazine and Authority magazines. As you know, we had President Donald Trump on the cover of our magazine last month. We've got some major success experts that we're going to be featuring. And the Authority Formula will be deep diving into who are the authorities in the marketplace. One of those, Casey Field, 6-time world champion bareback rodeo rider. And we're going to be getting in deep with Western Athletes, which is a new brand that's going to be out there. You're going to be excited about that as well. I'm not going to get into a lot of details on it, but Casey Field is an amazing individual. We're going to be highlighting him, and we're going to be giving you a lot of ways that we can help you with your media and authority. We want to help you to grow your authority, but today we're talking about helping you to manifest and really take your current tools to the next level, and your mind is the biggest one. So as we get into hacks or ways for you to program your mind for success, the 5th thing on my list was mental reframing. So what's mental reframing? Well, it's basically turning setbacks into opportunities. It's shifting how you interpret challenges to reshape your perspective. Dan Sullivan talks a lot about this. Really successful people give meaning to their past rather than having their past determine their future or their present moment. And so how do you shift and interpret challenges that you have into positive opportunities? Well, it's a conscious decision. Oprah Winfrey, for example, was fired from her first TV job. I mean, I could go on, and then she just looked at that and reframed it as redirection towards something greater. I could give you J.K. Rowling from the author. I could give you Michael Jordan. There's so many examples. But I think what it always boils back to is when you're facing a setback, you've got to ask yourself the question, what is this teaching me? What can I learn from this? How will this make me stronger? And so it's that idea of taking something happening in your life and asking the question that will help you to mentally reframe what's happening in your life. And that'll take the power away from it, pulling you down, but it'll also help to empower you to move forward. And this is back to training your brain to see the positive. Okay. The sixth mind hack would be thought stopping. So there's techniques on how to eliminate negative self-talk. But what you need to learn to do is recognize and interrupt destructive thought patterns because all of us have these at times. And maybe it's around, certain environments or things, but you may be saying things like, I expected that to happen, or I can't believe that's happening to me, or, whether it's a victim mentality or whether it's just a problem focus. What you need to do is you need to learn to stop negative thinking patterns. Tony Robbins uses a rubber band snap technique to immediately stop negative thinking. But the key here is for you to recognize negative thoughts that you may be having or negative words you may be saying. And when they arise, immediately replace them with a positive thought. So it's not just about stopping the negativity. What you've got to do to train your brain is you've got to recognize the negativity and replace it with positivity. And the more frequently and the more often and the repetition and the also I think that the what's the word for it? Like the quickness that you have for doing that will help you to really truly train your brain for positivity. So mental reframing, thought stopping techniques. And the seventh one is identify ways that you can shift your identity. And what I mean by that is act as if you already are the future version of yourself. And so what I'm trying to get at here is that many of us have the past affecting our current behavior. And some of us try to be grounded in the moment and just exude confidence. But the most successful people I know are the ones that visualize the future version of themselves and act in the present moment in alignment with that. Arnold Schwarzenegger acted as a Hollywood star way before he had major roles, which empowered his mindset. So you got to ask yourself when things come up throughout your day, how would your future self act? What would your future self do? When you're dealing with a problem and you're trying to solve these problems, because hopefully you're like me, you're constantly working outside your comfort zone to be able to grow, your current mindset a lot of times won't help you to solve that problem. And so you have to ask yourself, what would the future version of myself do? It's going to be a more confident version, a more successful version, a more skilled version. And so identity shifting is something that you can do in order to train your mind to act and move and empower you more towards success. Identity shifting. Okay, the eighth mindset hack. And this is, remember, we're talking about here ways to rewire your brain for success. The eighth one is gratitude practice. Gratitude practice. Remember, when you're trying to rewire your brain for success, positivity is going to be the most important thing. Daily gratitude will rewire your brain for abundant thinking. Research has shown that when people write down 3 things daily for things that they're grateful for, this is something that really helps you to experience more happiness, reduce your stress, find ways to be more positive. And so daily gratitude, things like keeping a gratitude journal, writing down wins. That's one thing I do, for example, in a journal is I always write down the wins of the day. I'm training my mind to identify the wins. Gratitude is no different. You're training your mind to see the things that you're grateful for. And, this is an exercise that, I know many, many successful people have done, writing down all the things you're thankful for. You would be surprised. Sometimes it's a little difficult because your brain is just not used to seeing all of that. But these are 4 more things today that we're stacking up here to help you to rewire your brain. Mental reframing, turning those setbacks into opportunities, thought stopping techniques to eliminate the negative self-talk, identity shifting, and gratitude practice. These are 4 more things I want you to try to do throughout the week in order to help to empower you to rewire your brain for success. Now, I'm going to cut it there because I have 4 more ideas I want to share with you tomorrow. But the key here is I want to hear from you. I want to know what it is you're working on. We've got so many resources at the Daily Mastermind and Evolution Mastermind, whether it's authority, whether it's marketing, whether it's joint ventures and things that I can do to help you. So if you don't reach out, I'm not going to be able to help you. But remember, our week this week is about helping to empower you for success. So take some actions. Let me know what you're up to. Hit me up on the Daily Mastermind on Instagram or Facebook. I always put my contact info in the show notes as well. So hit me up there. And then tomorrow, what I want to do is I want to cap off this series that we're doing and give you 4 more techniques that'll help you to rewire your brain. We'll talk about sleep and cold exposure and dopamine and, ways to create powerful, body language and things like that. So we'll get into those tomorrow. But for now, that's the message I have. I hope you've gotten some value from this. Please do me a favor and share this show. And I look forward to talking with you more tomorrow. Have a great day.